Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to the channel. And in today's video we're having a little chat about a fun camera, and that fun camera is the Cam Snaps. This is the Cam Snaps camera, and honestly it's so much fun to use. So they're actually really simple. They're all made of plastic. You have a shutter button, you have the on button, and then if you flick it one more across it also activates the flash. You've got a little screen right here that tells you how many photos you've taken. You got the little viewfinder to look through. You got the flash on the front. You've got a little pinhole lens, and then you've got a USB-C section where you charge and transfer the data. So you can get these cameras for around 55 to 60 quid, which I'll be honest, sounds pretty expensive for what they are. It's a fun little plastic camera. It's sort of based around those point and shoots that you take on holiday back in the day, which is actually how I originally got into photography. I loved using the point and shoot cameras we'd take on holidays when I was a child, and that's how I sort of just grew to love taking photos. And this just brings me right back to it. So this has a vintage filter already preset, so when you take the photos it's going to look basically how I like to edit my photos. But you can actually change that filter if you go over to the settings on a computer, plug the camera in, you can download your own filter, you can make your own filter, and you can do it that way as well. I'm going to chuck up some photos that I've taken today. I had a walk into Leeds. I took this with me. These are the photos that I took while I was there, and you can see it creates good images. It's not got a crazy megapixel count, 8 megapixels for the standard model like this one. But as you can see with the photos provided, I'm impressed. I took this to Centre Parks as well. It performed incredibly well there. I also took this to Manchester and I had a great time using it there as well. I actually bought this from Manchester from Urban Outfitters. I'd actually been looking at it online, and then Urban Outfitters just randomly had it in, so I decided to pick one up. Now don't get me wrong, it's not the greatest camera ever produced, but I love photography for the art of taking a photo, and I'm not really one for gear anymore. I used to be, but now I just love a crappy 2000s point and shoot, and for me this is one of the greatest things I've ever used. Do I think they're overpriced? Yes. Would I buy another camera from the brand at the same price or a bit more for a different one? Yes, and I have actually got the Cam Snaps Pro version, which will be in a different video. If you're looking for a camera just to take on holiday, take on a night out, just be able to just chuck it in your pocket and not worry about it, you're not worried about scratching the screen or breaking a lens, I can't think of a better camera to use. And as I said, I have literally taken some what I consider to be beautiful shots with this camera with no editing needed and no screens have to take a look. It's really simple to transfer photos. There's no app or anything. You just plug a USB-C into the camera, and then you plug a USB-C into your phone, or if you've got like an iPhone, you just need a USB-C into something, and you just go into the files and take them off. You can do it on a computer. I do it on my Android phone. It's really easy to do. And I think the difference from when I'm taking out like quite expensive gear to taking this out, I don't really, not that I don't care about it, but I'll chuck it in my pocket and not worry about it scratching. In fact, I think a little bit of wear on this, it might look cooler. It's not the most ergonomic camera to ever, be done. But if you use this kind of camera from back in the day, you'll know they weren't. You got a little thumb groove on the back, which if you've got big hands like me, it's not particularly the comfiest. I have to move my hats backwards when I take photos with this camera. But as you can see, it's for me, I've got big hands. It's not quite the comfiest thing that I've ever used. The Pro one is a little bit bigger, which fits me a little bit better. But if I just want to take something out and just not really care about it, because today it's crap weather, it's raining, it's windy, I don't know. I really enjoy it. And I don't think it's for everybody. I don't think everyone's going to love this camera. I'm a very unique consumer. I like crappy old cameras. I like the look of old cameras, and I like just being able to just sort of play around with crappy little things. I don't mean crappy in a derogatory term. I mean it as in, it's not a £1,000 body with a £500 lens. It's just fun. It brings back the fun in photography, and I think that's something that's missing nowadays. I think the fun in photography has been sapped out by expensive gear, and I do not regret buying this. By no means is it perfect or the greatest camera to ever have been created. But if you're using it for something very particular like I am, it kind of is the best camera for that exact purpose. I don't know. I fell in love with this, and I think that's something that's missing in photography. falling in love with the gear you use. And it's not just because it's the most megapixels and it's the best in the class or whatever. I think loving a camera is missing nowadays, and that's where I used to love film, but film's getting so expensive, and this is just, for me, the second best option. If you guys use a Cam Snaps, let me know, or another brand like it. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys say. For me, it's a great camera. It's fun to use. Are they a bit expensive? Yes. But I will use that every single day, probably for the rest of my life. It's just fun to use. And when something's fun, you want to use it more. If you guys do enjoy the channel, don't forget like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.